The Chicago Bulls hang on for a tight victory over the Detroit Pistons. Talk about it right after this. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome back to Whole Lotta Bull. I'm Troy. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Troy, but you can follow the show at Whole Lotta Bull. So, game one of 82 is in the books. Our Chicago Bulls hang on for a 115 to 111 victory over the Detroit Pistons in Chicago. Man, the Bulls had at one point had a 23-point lead in this game. They controlled the game for the first 3 quarters, up 16 at quarter time, so the Bulls got off to a really great start. Now, there was a worrying trend in the preseason games that the Bulls were getting off to slow starts, and that became a more valid concern as the games went on. I'm one of those people that take preseason for a grain of salt. But as you know, as each preseason game won, especially when we got to game 4 and 5 of the preseason, the slow starts started to definitely look like they were going to be an issue for the Chicago Bulls leading into the season. Well, not in game 1. Bulls got out to a great start in this game, and it was spearheaded by a game who was coasting in the preseason, and a lot of Bulls fans were like worried, going, "Oh, Vooch has fallen off a cliff." Nope. Vooch woke up and he had an amazing game for the Chicago Bulls. A couple of threes in the first quarter. May have actually been three threes in the first quarter. Definitely had 3 threes in the first half. He finishes with he's player of the game. There's no ifs or buts about it. Nikola Vucevic, best player on the court today. 28 points, 14 rebounds, 11 of 18 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown to go with a couple of assists in 32 and a half minutes of action. For those who were saying Nikola Vucevic has fallen off a cliff, and hey, I'll even put my hand up and say I was starting to get concerned. But Nikola Vucevic has proven that he was just coasting throughout the preseason. He even said it himself in post game interview with Casey Johnson that he was just trying to get through the preseason and just get himself ready for the actual season, and basically not get injured. So huge game there for Nikola Vucevic. Now, Isaac Okoro in this game doesn't score a basket. Only takes 2 shots in this game. Does get into foul trouble as well. But when you got going up against a superstar player in Cade Cunningham, and you're trying to play physical with him, you are going to get yourself into foul trouble. And Josh Giddey found himself in foul trouble as well. But definitely had an impact in this game. And for those who love the plus minus stat, I'm not, I'm not one of those guys who are big on this, but shout out C Red Fred. I know that he's going to be all over this one with the plus minus. Isaac Okoro in 22 and a half minutes of action, a game high plus 17 for the Chicago Bulls. But then if you want to flip it as well, and this is why I don't think the plus minus is a stat to go by. Marcus Buzelis, 21 points, 6 boards, 7 of 12 from the field, and he's 33, nearly 34 minutes of action. He's a minus 10. Yet he was one of our best players on the court. So this is why I don't put much stock in the plus minus as an overall stat. I mean, I'm not going to really count Dallin Terry with the plus minus of being a minus 10, 6 minutes of action. In my opinion, he only got any playing time because of the foul trouble that Isaac Okoro was in. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have seen any minutes whatsoever in this game. But just talk about Marcus Buzelis for a minute. That guy, as I said on Bulls Without Borders last week, every time that guy attacks the basket, He wants to destroy the rim and wants to destroy whoever's game enough to get the fuck in his way. And we saw him do it tonight. A couple of poster dunks. He put Isaiah Stewart on a poster, even though Isaiah Stewart did actually get a hand to that dunk attempt when he cocked it all the way back and stuffed it on him. But how Marcus Bouzella showing that he is himself is on the brink of superstardom, and it's going to be beautiful to watch his season uh, go on and see what leaps and bounds he can take in his progression this season. But amazing, a great performance from Marcus Bouzella. Also got to the free throw line 7 times in this game. Now, I want to give a quick little thing there to Trey Jones, who obviously starting it at the two guard position in place of Kobe White while he's out. You know, 32 minutes of action, finishes with a 12 points, 8 assists, 3 steals in this game for Trey Jones. Very efficient, 5 of 8 from the field. Hits his only three. No, excuse me. 3-point attempt in the quarter. A nice little dish off to him by Josh Giddey. I mean, Trey Jones is a damn solid player and proving he's worth every single dollar of that $8 million per year deal that he signed at the beginning of free agency for the Chicago Bulls. A great re-signing, and once Kobe White comes back, he's going to be an amazing depth piece for this team. I absolutely fucking love that we brought back Trey Jones. Um, you know your boy over in the Bulls HQ Discord, Kelder is properly. Yeah, I'm not going to go there, but we know he's happy with Trey Jones' performance because that's his dookie. But Josh Giddey in this game, now the numbers don't look great. The worst one there being the 6 turnovers, so he's got a bit to tidy up there again with his turnovers being a concern. But we saw that he was getting blitzed on double teams. He's got I want to get the name right with the Thompson brothers. Ashua Thompson, a man plays for Houston. Ashua Thompson was face guarding him. They were blitzing him on doubles, trying to get the ball out of Josh Giddey's hand. So that didn't help with leading into turnovers. He almost had a costly turnover late in that game, which Billy Donovan challenged and got the call overturned onto a foul to Cade Cunningham. But Josh Giddey also come up clutch in this game, hitting some key free throws to seal the victory for the Bulls. He finishes with 19 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds. Also the 5 fouls as well. So he was in foul trouble early. He picked up his 5th foul quite early in the fourth quarter and ended up sitting a decent chunk there in the fourth until they brought him back with about 4 minutes left, I think it was in the game to help the Bulls pull out this victory. Now, as per usual, I'd assume doing I'd assume things. 14 points, 6 to 14 from the field, bringing the physicality, bringing the defense, pushing the ball up court as he always does. Couple of assists in this game, and Kevin Herter, as I said in my video yesterday, I would have had him starting at the two guard spot in place of Trey Jones, primarily because he could probably bring more of that outside scoring threat to the Bulls and help keep the floor spread. It's solid. Now, there's a solid scoring performance all across for the Bulls. 6 players in double figures. You know, and the least of those was Trey Jones with a 12, and you got obviously Nikola Vucevic with a 28. But Io 14 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, just doing what Io does. Love to see it. Patrick Williams in this game, quite solid. Now, it does only go 1 for 2 from the field, that being a 3-point shot. Does get to the free throw line, but makes only 1 or 2. So, numbers don't look great, but 4 points, 4 rebounds. Does have 2 blocks and a steal in this game. So, Patrick Williams in his 17 minutes, brought some decent things to the court for the Chicago Bulls. At one point, it looked like he was ready to throw hands with Jalen Duren on that after that rebound attempt where Duren pulled the jersey and pulled Pat Williams down onto the floor. But some of the keynotes that I saw in, especially mostly in that first three quarters, because we all know that the Bulls almost gave away the victory in the fourth quarter with Detroit just turning up the intensity and trying to get their game going. But through the first three quarters, now the Bulls built up that 16-point lead at quarter time and basically maintained it right throughout the next two quarters. And the lead was 15 at halftime. It was still 15 at three-quarter time. So, and there was one point early at the start of the third quarter where the Detroit Pistons made an early run and got the game down into single digits, but the Bulls answered. So some good signs there that the Bulls can answer some runs, especially against a really good, young, athletic, physical team like the Detroit Pistons, who 2 years ago were the laughing stock of the NBA, had 14 victories, and last year they improved to 44 victories and finishing the sixth seed in the playoffs, and obviously ultimately ended up getting eliminated by the New York Knicks. But it was good to see that like the Bulls were able to just keep going and maintain a lead, obviously until that fourth quarter came along, and the game basically got flipped on its head, and Detroit came storming back. Now, Cade Cunningham for Detroit. Now he fouls out in this game, but he flirts with a triple double: 23 points, 10 assists, 7 boards. Did have a struggle in this game. 8 of 24 from the field, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. So a lot of credit of that does have to go to Isaac Okoro and the Bulls' overall team defense. Defensively, the Bulls looked very, very solid in this game right throughout. Again, up until that fourth quarter, which we all knew that at some point in this game, a team as good as what Detroit have been last year, and we expect to be again this year, if not even better, they are going to make a run. And it's how you respond to those runs is a key for me when it comes to those when it comes to that. Now, we see that connection between Kay Cunningham and Jalen Duren, multiple times there to open the game in the third quarter as well. Just alley oop passes from Cunningham to Duren. So they've got quite a decent connection going there. Isaiah Stewart, quite surprisingly for Detroit, 2 or 2 from beyond the arc, has 20 and 10 off the bench. That's crazy numbers for Isaiah Stewart. Highly efficient, but he destroyed Jalen Smith in this game in the battle of the big backup big men. We need Zach Collins back ASAP. Like, find some magic cure, get that broken wrist healed now, and get that man back on the court because if Isaiah Stewart, now I like Isaiah Stewart as a player, but if he's doing this to Jalen Smith, who misses all 7 field goal attempts, all 5 from beyond the arc, his only points come from the free throw line, 5 boards. Jalen Smith was a non-factor out there thanks to Isaiah Stewart in this game. Now, some of other things I did like in this game for the Chicago Bulls, the ball and play movement. Now, that's ultimately now, as Nikola Vucevic said in that post-game interview with KC, the Bulls don't have that superstar player. We all know that. So it's all about everyone has to step up and everyone has to chip in and bring some impact on this game. So you see that with 6 players in double figures each for the Chicago Bulls. So that all comes down to ball movement, player movement, off cuts, cutting off the ball, cuts off the 45. We saw a beautiful one there. Can't remember what quarter it was in, but Ida Subu comes down for the baseline cut after his defender goes up to help, and he gets an easy 2. So those are the things that the Bulls need to do. They do need to play as a team on both ends of the floor to win games. So if that's a sign of things to come, it's going to be a fun season. Excuse me, I'm battling with hay fever. It's hit me really bad at the moment. It's affecting my voice and all that. So apologies for my voice. But yeah, overall, a great team effort from the Chicago Bulls to open the season. One thing I want to say about the Bulls pregame stuff though, and Obviously, I didn't see it today because obviously the league pass had cut it from what we saw. But the Bulls pregame when like last year, Benny the Bull, shout out Benny, the best mascot in the league, hands down, where he comes down the middle of the court right before tip off and bangs the drum. This year they've made it so he's standing there banging a drum, and that Todd guy is there trying to get the crowd involved. Dude, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out the picture, and leave that shit to Benny the Bull. We don't need you in that. That's just my little peeve there for pre-game shit. Even though in the contest 16 it doesn't really matter, but just leave that stuff to Benny. Let him rail out the crowd. We don't need you, Todd. Now, obviously no Javon Carter, no Norris Engay, Julian Phillips don't play in this game. Obviously, Kobe White, Zach Collins out, Lockie Ulbrich on a two-way deal. He's sitting in street clothes as well. Uh, so I think we got a bit of a glimpse into what Billy Donovan's rotations are going to be, especially while Kobe White and Zach Collins are out. And I'm probably dare going to say, going forward, especially once if Kobe White can come back and remain healthy, and the team overall stays healthy, you're not going to see Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips in the rotation whatsoever. And I honestly didn't think we would. So those ten guys that you're going to see the most minutes, that's not going to include DT and JP. Now, another good thing that I did see in this game is that the Bulls were constantly attacking the basket. Now, last year there was a huge reliance on the three-point shot. Now they only shot 33s in this game, hitting 11 of 30 for 36%. So league average there. You do want to see that number come up a little bit, but getting to the basket and drawing fouls, that's what I want to see, and that will open up the outside game for the Chicago Bulls as well. And we did see that happen. We see Nikola Vucevic go 4 or 6 from beyond the arc because he was getting to the rim early and getting some easy buckets there. Josh Giddey goes 1 for 2 from beyond the arc. Kevin Huerter, like our designated shooter, only 2 or 6, but again, having missed a big chunk of preseason, he does need to get into some rhythm. Yeah, Jalen Smith. You need to pick and choose your 3-point attempts, mate, because some of them were not good shots at all. Now, the Bulls did have a scare early in the third quarter. Marcus Gonzalez went up for a 3-point attempt, missed it, got fouled, came down and tweaked his ankle. It was down on the ground, clutching his right ankle for a minute there. Obviously, he had to give himself a bit of a minute there just to just get himself together. And once he got up, and the way he was walking, you could tell he was fine. I'm sure that when he wakes up in the morning, that ankle's probably going to be pretty sore, and he's going to probably need to do some rehab on it for uh, tomorrow, or it's going to be today when he by the time this video comes out in Chicago. So get ice it up and get into straight rehab and make sure that thing's doubly taped up and get him ready for Orlando because we're going to need him down there um, for that game against the Magic. But yeah, that's ultimately like great to see the Bulls start off the season with a W. I did predict it was going to be a close win. I didn't think at any point the Bulls would get up by 23 points and almost blow a 20-point lead to lose. But I did predict a tight win. But when we go down to Orlando on Sunday, my time, it's a Saturday night game there in Orlando. I do expect the Bulls to take an L in that game. Orlando Magic, great young team, up and coming, should be one of the probably up in the top 4 of the Eastern Conference this coming season. It's another homecoming for Nikola Vucevic, the former Orlando Magic. But yeah, man, it's just the Bulls season opener is in the books. The Bulls come away with a dub. and against the Detroit Pistons. Let's fucking go. S- Forever and always, no matter whatever happens, fuck Detroit, straight up bitches. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, it's a lot of probably fans probably out there probably go, well, the bad boys era is over. It's long gone. Get over it. Doesn't matter. When you're a Bulls fan, fuck Detroit, fuck New York, fuck Miami, fuck LA. And if you don't like swearing, well, too fucking bad. Keep your kids away. All right, guys, that's it for today's show. Just happy to get the Bulls, to see the Bulls get off the season with a W against the Detroit Pistons. Straight up bitches. Let's fucking go. I'll catch you guys on Sunday after the game against the Orlando Magic. Excuse me. So until then, Bulls Nation, see red, be good.